I'm saying is that sometimes happens, someone has to deal with it, and who are you gonna call? Hey there, movie fans. It's been a long time and it's nice to see you again. First of all, I want to apologize for the lack of videos in the last few months. And for the longest time now, I wanted to do an update type video to let you subscribers, you lovely subscribers, what's been going on and why I've been absent from here, the YouTubes, in so long. But then some big news hit, or at least some big news for Ghostbusters fans, dropped this week that I said I want to talk about it. And so this is going to be a mix of the two. I'm going to be giving you a quick update on what's been going on lately in my crazy life and talk about Ghostbusters. Alright, so as a quick update, just like many YouTubers and people who have their channels and feel passionate about doing things like this, I don't ever want to give you a video where I wasn't feeling 100% or I just wanted to chuck it off the list and put something out there that I wasn't passionate about or I really wasn't feeling in the mood to do. So that's why it's been taking so long to come up with a new video. And if you're asking, so how come you've been feeling not so well? Most of you, my subscribers, know me personally, and if you happen to just come up on this video while you were looking for other stuff, I've been sick for the past few years now, and I've been going in and out of the hospital with exams, with surgeries and such, and just last December I started my vacation by once again checking into the hospital, going through more surgery, and then I spent the rest of the month recovering. So I've never felt 100%, or even when I said, oh, I would like to do a video about this particular movie, I never really had the energy to do it anymore. So that's why it's been taking so long. And for those of you who know me personally and have written to me or called me or just expressed your sympathy and everything, guys, I appreciate it so much for sticking through. And again, sorry for not giving you material in such a long time, but we're gonna try and do videos more often. All right, so Ghostbusters. I just had to talk about Ghostbusters because it's a franchise that I love. And actually the very first video that I did here on YouTube, on my unfiltered episodes, was Ghostbusters. I ain't afraid of no ghosts, but I am afraid of reboots and remakes. And it came around 2016 when the new Ghostbusters movie was going to come out. And I, like many other ghost heads or Ghostbusters fans, I was not happy with the way this movie was coming about, and once they officially announced what was going on with the new movie, because it wasn't the movie that us, the fans, really wanted to see. And this spread like wildfire, and there were a lot of negative comments online because the studio and certain groups took it on a personal level to say that anybody that disliked this movie was automatically misogynist and, you know, trying to put women down, and the only reason we didn't like this movie is because it was all female and we hate women and all sorts of nonsense. So I put my opinion out there as a true Ghostbusters fan, saying no, that's not the point. My point originally when Ghostbusters 2016 came out was Hollywood stopped touching classics. They're classics for a reason. They were pretty much perfect, and that's why we love them. They don't need to remake them or reboot them, because the true fans, what they feel is like you're saying, you know what, that movie wasn't that good, we can do better. And there's a reason why they are classics. And that's why a lot of the reboots and remakes that you see nowadays fail at the box office, because they fail to capture the magic, because you're trying to say our product is better than the original, But the only reason you have that core of fans that go to see the new movie in the first place is because we love the original and we want to see if we can fall in love with the next installment. But many times it happens is that you disregard the original to try and make it your own thing, and that's why you fail. So that was my original point in the original video. So now that Ghostbusters 3 has been officially announced, it's going to be directed by Jason Reitman, son of Ivan Reitman, the original director and producer in the original Ghostbusters films from back in the 80s. This was great news for us fans, because for us it was never about the cast being all girls. It was, you're telling me that whatever I love in the past doesn't count anymore, that this is the new thing. And that's why we took it a bit personal. It was never a personal attack on the cast or the directors or the producers because it was an all-female cast. What we wanted to see from the beginning was sequels, a continuation. We want to know what happened to our beloved characters from the original movies. And we were okay with the passing of the torch, a new generation coming together, a new generation of Ghostbusters, and we were fine with them being all girls. There were theories going about that maybe it's going to be the daughters of the original GBs, and that would have been great, because we never rejected that film because of the female cast. It was because it wasn't a continuation, but rather they wanted to fix something that wasn't broken. So now that we have official announcement, there's a teaser trailer, and we know that this is a straight up sequel to the originals, that gets us excited because we want to know what happened to those characters. We want to know where the next story is going to be, and we're fine with them not being the main protagonists of the new film because we understand the generational change, and we are excited to see who's going to be the new crew. And if right now the discussion is that it's going to be having half two boys, two girls, I think that's pretty fair considering how you gotta be politically correct these times. But I guarantee you, Hollywood, people who are in an uproar because your female version was rejected, we would be perfectly fine if the new movie is all about girls, because it's not a remake, it's not a reboot, it's a sequel. We want to see what happens to the new characters. We want to see what happened to the old characters. That's what we wanted to see from the beginning. Now, is this going to be the movie we need or the movie we deserve? We don't know. We can't judge the movie until it's actually out. But at least it's the movie that we want. We didn't want a remake, a reboot. We wanted a sequel. We wanted continuation. And that's why the video game, for example, was so successful, because in the lack of a movie, the video game was like the perfect sequel to the movies. And for those of you who are not familiar with the video game, in the video game you play the rookie Ghostbuster who is learning the ropes with the old crew. And once you start playing the game, you have the option of choosing your avatar or your character to be either a boy or a girl. And when I bought my copy and I started playing it, I decided I wanted to play using the girl, because I always loved the idea of a girl joining the group. We saw it in the real Ghostbusters cartoons in some of the episodes when Janine became a Ghostbuster. And for those of you who are not hardcore fans of Ghostbusters and you've only heard what's going on online and on Twitter and all these comments going back and forth about the movie, and you're a little confused and maybe you're buying into the whole hype that this movie is in some way disrespecting women because they're not taking into account the previous movie, don't fall into that. I'll have you know that the ghost heads around the world, they have created their own chapters of Ghostbusters all over the world, and many of them have created great short films, fan films that do include girl Ghostbusters. And why do we love them? Because they're not reinventing it. They are telling spin-off stories. In the lore, they keep the original Ghostbusters as the original Ghostbusters who open up the franchise, and they still exist in the Ghostbusters universe. And all of these chapters are stemming out from the original Ghostbusters, and they protect the world from paranormal activity all over the world, with crews who are older men, young kids, females, males, all sorts of races. There's Ghostbusters Italy, there's Ghostbusters in Mexico, there's the Denver Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters of New Hampshire, and so on and so forth. All right, and if you go online and you actually look for these short films and fan films, you're going to see that they have thousands and thousands of views and thousands of likes because they're really well put together stories with heart, because they are an homage to the original. They're not trying to be better than the original. All right, and that's what happened in Hollywood. So we're excited. The Ghostbusters, we're excited. The Ghostbusters fans, we're excited for the new movie because officially it's a sequel, and we want to see the old characters return as themselves and see where the next chapter is going to go. Now, whether the movie is good or bad, that's going to be judged when the movie comes out. Is it going to be affected by nostalgia? Definitely, because we're going to see the original cast in their original characters, and of course there's going to be nostalgia there. But in the end, it's not going to be about the nostalgia, it's going to be about how good the movie really is. Case in point, Star Wars with the new sequels, not remakes, not reboots. It's a mixed bag of reviews and responses. It's not well received all around, not because of the cast or whatever. It's just simply because the stories have not been that good. They have not been as good as the original. Many times they do rely on the nostalgia of the sounds, of the images of previous characters to try and remind us, hey, this is a Star Wars movie and you gotta love it because it's Star Wars. And we want to love them. We want to love the new Star Wars movies, but the reason we don't is because the stories are not as good as the originals. But we don't hate them because they're trying to be the next or be better than the original. We just don't like them because they haven't been very well good told stories. That's the point. But you can also look at the good examples of other franchises that are doing it properly. For example, Sylvester Stallone with the Creed movies. They are continuations of Rocky, but they're well-crafted stories that are still doing good at the box office, and we love them because they're just well-told movies. And they're not trying to reinvent Rocky. They're not introducing a new character to play the original character of Rocky Balboa for a new generation. It's still Sly playing the original Rocky, but now his life has evolved. He's no longer a fighter. Someone else comes along, and the stories continue, and that is well done. That's what we want with Ghostbusters. That's what we've always wanted. We wanted to see more stories, but original stories, or a continuation or a growth of the franchise. All right, don't fall into the hype. We're not haters of women. We love women. A lot of the Ghostbusters fans around the world are girls. Melissa McCarthy herself was a big, real Ghostbusters cartoon fan, and that was one of the things that attracted her to the project, because she was a fan of Ghostbusters. And a lot of the critics online that trashed the movie, they were not guys complaining about, oh, I want to see the old guys out because this is a guy movie. No, it was girls who were being objective and saying, listen, I love movies. I also grew up loving Ghostbusters, and I don't like this movie because it's a bad movie. That's what's happened. All right. So, are you excited to see the new Ghostbusters movie? I am. We hope it's good. We really, really hope it's good, because maybe this will open up the opportunity again to have more products, more Ghostbusters stuff that we want to see. And if the movie is not good, then, you know, that's just what happens. Sometimes movies are good, sometimes movies are not that good. On the positive side, like I always said, we'll always have the originals, and for me personally, there's a lot of franchises where I have my favorites, and to me that's the franchise and I ignore the rest. And we'll still have the originals, we can continue to enjoy them, but it would be fun to have more stories to enjoy. Alright, so if you want to join our little club, make sure you click subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Share this video around with your friends. Leave a comment below, and I hope to bring you new reviews soon. And it's been nice to see you again, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.